Forgiveness. Forgiveness. You have to forgive. Unforgiveness is quite literally poisonous. Unforgiveness quite literally has the power to suck the very life out of a person's soul. Unforgiveness will chip away at your health. Unforgiveness will quite literally consume an individual. Unforgiveness will destroy your marriage. Let me say that one more time. Unforgiveness will destroy your marriage. Someone needs to hear this today. Unforgiveness will destroy your marriage. At its very core, unforgiveness is poisonous, and the poison destroys you and you alone. Bitterness, resentment, hatred, animosity. And so many children of God are struggling with this one area, this area of unforgiveness. The joy of the Lord is no longer in their life because of unforgiveness. There is no joy in the life of a person who is full of unforgiveness and full of bitterness. Bitterness has the ability to take your joy away. Bitterness will take your life away and make you quite literally a walking zombie. Years pass and you're still angry at the things that someone did to you in your past. Bitterness, resentment, hatred, animosity. I am not saying for one moment that what that person did to you was right. I am not trying to justify what they did to you whatsoever. Yes, they wronged you. Yes, what they did was wrong. Yes, they mistreated you. Yes, they spoke to you in a way that you did not deserve to be spoken to. But you have to let go. In this life, people will betray you. People who you love, people who you care about will disappoint you. That is the nature of this life. The first murder in human history was between two brothers. 6 times in the book of Genesis, the word of God reminded us that Cain is Abel's brother, his brother, his brother, his brother, his brother. It's almost as if the Bible is trying to hammer home the reality and the heinousness and the depravity of Cain's sin, killing his very own brother. That is this life that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. People will betray you. People will smile to your face and stab you in the back. People will praise you to your face and will talk bad about you behind your back. That is the nature of this life. But you cannot go your whole life holding grudges. You cannot go your whole life holding unforgiveness, holding bitterness. And I am not for one second downplaying what they have done to you. I am not for one second trying to justify their actions. But I am here simply to remind you that you have to forgive. Not for their sake, but for your own sake. Bitterness will consume you. Forgiveness is more for you than the person you are forgiving. Forgiveness will set you free from holding on to the pain. As long as you're not forgiving that person, you are still holding on to the pain. And if there is one thing I have learned about men and women, we hold on to pain. That is something about the human condition I am yet to understand. There is something about us as human beings that we have a propensity to hold on to pain. Years pass by and we can hold on to pain. We can hold on to that pain. And that pain turns to bitterness, resentment, hatred, and animosity. Yes, that woman or man may have stolen years from your life. Years that you'll never get back. But you have to forgive. Bitterness will eat you alive. It will take the very life out of your body. Yes, you are existing. Yes, your heart is pumping blood all across your body, but there is no life in you anymore because of bitterness. You have to forgive. Unforgiveness is quite literally a dark shadow that will cover every aspect of your life if you let it. I don't know who needs to hear this today, but there are people right now who are literally walking every single day with a heaviness, a sense of unforgiveness and bitterness weighing them down. You need to let go. And there are things in your life and in your spirit that you just need to let go of. Do you know that there are some people who are angry at God right now? Christians that go to church every single week, but in their hearts they are angry at God. They are mad at God, angry at Him, accusing God, blaming God, saying to God in their hearts, how can you let this happen to me if you love me? I don't deserve this. If you love me, why would you let this happen to me? If I am your child, why are all these bad things happening to me? But they won't say these things publicly. No, you wouldn't dare say overtly. But in your heart, you are angry at God, accusing God. But I would like to remind you of something about the Lord that Samuel said. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. God is interested in your heart. God is not interested in the religious mumbo jumbo that we like to recite. God is not interested in the religious catchphrases we like to quote. He is interested in your heart. And there are Christians right now who have never said it outwardly, but in their hearts they are angry at God for one reason or another. I just want to tell you today, God has not wronged you, and God has not wronged anyone. You need to let go of that pain. Don't deflect that pain onto God. God is not your enemy. God has not wronged you. Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. You need to let go of all weights that try weigh you down. And two of these things are unforgiveness and bitterness. You need to let them go. Psychologists generally define forgiveness as a conscious effort, a deliberate decision to release all feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or a group of people that have harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve forgiveness. Now, I stated this definition for you for the last phrase. Regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. It's not about whether they apologize to you. It's not about whether they have showed some sort of remorse for their actions. No. It is for your sake that you are forgiving. Allow me to make it clear that when you forgive, you don't gloss over or deny the seriousness of an offense against you. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing an offense. You are not condoning what they did. What they did was wrong, and they will have to answer to the Lord for their offense. But I am here today to encourage you that make sure your relationship with God is in good standings. It is not your responsibility to be the judge, jury, and executioner. You don't have to go around putting people in their place. That is God's role. Your role is to forgive. Move on with your life. But all forgiveness is quite simply letting go. Letting go of all the bitterness. Letting go of all the resentment. Letting go of all the hatred. All the animosity. Forgive and let go. Let there be peace in your life. Let the joy of the Lord reign in your life. Unforgiveness will steal the joy of the Lord. As a born-again child of God, you are not meant to live a life full of hatred, bitterness, and unforgiveness. No, the joy of the Lord must be in your life. Let there be joy among you and your neighbors. Let there be joy among you and your family. Forgiveness brings the forgiver peace of mind and frees him or her from the corrosive anger. It requires letting go of deeply held negative emotions and feelings. Forgiveness empowers you to recognize the pain you've suffered, but without holding on to it and letting it define you, thereby enabling you to move on with your life. Bitterness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Don't allow bitterness to poison you. It will ruin you. Make a list of people you need to forgive today and forgive them. Forgive your parents. Forgive them. They were not the parents you needed them to be. But being angry and bitter towards them won't add anything to your life. Forgive anyone that has ever hurt you. Forgive that ex-boyfriend. Forgive that ex-girlfriend. Forgive that stranger. Forgive your brother. Forgive your sister. Let it go. Bitterness and joy cannot coexist. Make a list of everyone you need to forgive and forgive them. And for some of you, the first name on that list is your own name. You need to forgive yourself. You cannot live the rest of your life beating yourself up on a daily basis because of every dumb decision you have made in your past. Forgive yourself. The truth is, every single one of us has made dumb decisions, but you need to learn from your mistakes and not repeat them and move on with your life. Let go. Don't dwell on your past mistakes. You are not the first person to make a dumb decision, and you won't be the last. Learn from your silly mistakes and move on. For you to take the next step in your life, for you to take the next step in your relationship with God, you have to forgive. God requires you to forgive. God demands you to forgive. Mark 11:25-26. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may also forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father in heaven forgive your trespasses. Brothers and sisters, I have one message for you today and one message only. Forgive.